I don't know if you've been keeping up with current events, but this Starbase summary is going to be all about that massive Pad 2 Deluge test that happened just a couple, what was that, yesterday? God, time flies. Gonna kick it off with a booster stand rolling out to Pad 2. Looks like another fit check sort of thing. You'll notice they have not invented a stealth coating for the booster. The booster's not actually on that booster stand, so maybe they made some tweaks or changes or something and they brought it back over. Look, they're setting it down. See? And see if that thing's going to plug back in. We did see preparations for Pad 2 testing. Pad 2 testing is all the rage because they were removing, as foretold, it's not right, as foretold by the prophets, they removed the scaffolding from the top of Pad 2. There's that booster transport stand scooting in over by Pad 2. Again, we saw it come out there. We saw it go back. We saw it come out there. Probably doing fit checks and stuff like that. Easier to do it if it doesn't have a booster on top of it, so that's probably what's happening there. There's a Chopstick Carriage. Oh, look at that. Yeah, that big, slightly different painted color, that angular, triangular thing, the stop that it sort of rests on when it's at the bottom position. Interesting. Some deliveries lining up at the launch site. These are sheet piles for Pad 1. It looks like. Yep, there they are. I did see the comments about that. I don't know why I think of sheet piles as the longer sets that get installed all at once, but maybe somebody did tell me maybe I was remembering them coming out because they usually go in one piece at a time, but when they come out, they may come out in a couple at a time as they sort of stick together. Maybe that's what I was remembering, them coming back out. There you can see the sheet piles in the background all sort of picketed in a little row there, and that one hadn't been put all the way in. They're on the left-hand side of this as well. An awful lot of dirt work's been going on over there as they prepared that massive expansion, almost doubling the size of the pad area for pads 1 and 2. There's some more sheet piling work. You can see the sheet piling in the background there as the excavator works in the foreground. Sort of see, are they going to like jam that thing in, or I guess it's just sort of hanging there in the background. It's not forcibly being rammed in right now. Across the street, there's the air separation unit over on, I guess that would be the northern side of Highway 4. Not a lot of big changes, not a lot of gross, obviously visible changes there. But you can see those pipes are not all connected yet as they continue to put together the Lego set of air separation unit. It's a tool bag or parts bucket or something he's lowering down so he doesn't have to go all the way up and down the scaffolding every time. Looks like they're sanding. Are they sanding a seam there? Say that 10 times fast. It really does. That looks like a rag, though. He's just maybe cleaning a seal to get cleaning a seam to get a little bit of a seal. Or maybe what's going on was he was cleaning it to paint it. I didn't really see a solvent or anything on that, though. But there you can see everybody's favorite roller brush painting the ASU. I did a lot of looking into marine coatings and that sort of thing. I'm really curious what they're painting that with because I feel like I might want to paint some of our equipment with that. I mean, I might want to have Gage paint some of our equipment with that stuff. In any event, there's that big massive crawler crane. You can see they're actually preparing the cribbing in front of it. You don't just want to roll it directly on the ground, especially when it's an unprepared ground like that. So you put down this cribbing, which basically increases the effective size of the tracks, right? It spreads out that load from the tracks instead of the honestly limited surface area of the tracks pushing down in one spot. You sort of push down on those big pieces of wood, and then the wood spreads the pressure out so that you don't destroy the surface underneath because you just have a little bit more surface area to spread out the weight of that crane. You can help stabilize it as well, too. So this is Boca Chica Beach. This is from the south. You can see the little air separation unit tower, and I'm guessing that's going to be Pad 1 because I don't see Pad 2 in there. Looks like Gage drove a little bit down. That water is probably the mouth of the Rio Grande, and then that's Faro Bagdad there in the background. It's not in Iraq. It's in Mexico. Just a little lighthouse over that. You know, I don't actually know what, maybe Baghdad is a word for something. It's just that if you've seen the word Baghdad, you probably know it because of Iraq. It's a pink dump truck. Doesn't matter how pink you paint the dump truck, it's still not responsible for broken windshields, apparently. That's cool. Sort of spreading the concrete all around. Here's the Cybertruck. leaving an awful, gosh, it's just a lot of different work there. That's the cryo loading station on the right-hand side. Here's the top of Pad 2's tower, preparing for the roof install. We mentioned that last time. Some of you were delighted by my surprise at the height of the crane. They're like, yeah, no kidding, it has to be taller than the tower. Look, oh, that's cool. Enhance. Is it full speed? That looks like a full speed retract test. How cool is that? Oh, we're getting to the Pad 2 testing. Okay, let's focus. Let's pay attention to that bird leaving Pad 2. So we got the full speed retract tests. Then we get the DSS test. Again, if you're new around here, DSS is Detonation Suppression System. It's supposed to check, or it's supposed to control the environment, the mix of air, sort of displacing oxygen and I guess oxygen, anything mixed with the oxygen, with nitrogen and water to make it harder for things to detonate. You're just changing the mix of the air in the area that you're spraying that DSS to suppress detonations. Here the chopsticks are going up the tower. Oh, that's interesting. Is that a little cleaner? It's like two little guide rails. Oh, I'm really curious what that little T-bar thing with the little... Huh. Like, I could see it needing, like, a little wiper to wipe the rails off, or maybe not. Maybe it's just so big it doesn't need anything like that. I am super curious. I'll need to research exactly what that little piece... I just see one little part like that, and I focus in on it. As you do. Y'all are aware of that. So there's the shorty chopsticks. Is that a drone? It didn't look like it was flying like a bird, but that was a drone. There's some cameras under the OLM. We saw those retracting the other day. Is that like to watch it and then they get out of the way when the launch happens? I'm really curious what the launch operation of those will be. Here, if we zoom in, yeah. Look, we're standing by for a test. You want to see how our roadside rocket science sort of works. That's the sort of evidence. Scroll that back again and you see the little dribble of water from the top of the pad, but the dribble of water tells us that there's water flowing into that system and it's being filled sort of like pre-pressurized. Maybe not pre-pressurized, maybe pre-filled with water in that little teeny tiny dribble. Now. I think Caesar, we don't have to play the audio for this part. I stayed quiet so we could play the audio there. I'm not sure Caesar knew that water mist was going to come as far as it was going to come, because it looked like it just all the way out here to the road, sort of in line with the test here. Let's see this again. Is this a replay? No, that was just after the fact. Here is a different angle of it. The little compactor that's just driving towards this, and then all of a sudden the water is crashing over. He thinks he's driving into the Gulf, and then the top of this thing goes off. Do you think he's wondering, like, is this going to reach me? Should I get out of this thing and run? What are you supposed to do in this case? I don't think anybody taught him in compactor training what you're supposed to do. Like he eventually, yeah, there you go. He eventually decides that he should put it in reverse and back away from this thing. So that's just like a shot. That shot should be in a history book somewhere. Like, hey, get out of the way. We're going to space. The water crashing over the barrier, the edge of the pavement or whatever there in the foreground. Oh, good times. Oh, we're going to get some more angles. Yes. All right. This is actually it's not entirely to the side. Is this over from south? Yeah, I think this is the long-range shot from south. This is going to be a really interesting shot when that booster actually, when the whole stack, when Starship actually takes off from Pad 2, because that exhaust isn't pointing directly at us. It's coming at us at maybe 45 degree, 30 degree. It's coming at us at an angle. And so there in between, you see where the water's going. How clear of a shot are we going to get to the base of the booster as it lifts off? These are the things that we think about, because in the past, with the messy stool pad, exhaust just went everywhere, and every direction was blocked. The wind was your only hope on Pad 1. For Pad 2, it has the two directions that the exhaust is going to come out. So are we going to get better liftoff shots of the rocket actually clearing the pad regardless of wind direction? I mean, wind direction can still play a big... Dang. It's a crazy exhaust. Look at that thing going. The wind direction can still play a huge role because you get this big plume and then it starts to drift in a direction, right? But I am so curious to see how that's going to work out. Right back to some painting. We're going to do some more roller painting. I mean, seriously, tell me down below. You've seen the Pad 1 Deluge. You've seen Artemis SLS probably at 39B. You likely have seen that. I'm super curious. Do you think that was big? Do you think it was small? That little the compactor thing rolling in the foreground certainly makes it look big. There's some telephoto compression happening. Oh, wow! They put this in. Nice. It's like the progression of the Gigabay. Now I have no time to talk about it. Play it like 3 times in a row. If you go back and you watch that, it's multiple shots with the date interposed in the upper left-hand corner, so you can see when they took the shot, and you can actually see the Gigabay growing. The tree lines don't match because the horizon is different. Like, we're further away from the Gigabay at the Cape, so we actually get the trees blocking a little bit of the bottom story. So we aligned them in that shot to match up the heights of the Gigabay, like story for story-wise, right? Anyways, that's super cool. I wish we play like that 4 times. Y'all can play that 4 times if you scroll back and you want to watch that again. I asked them to put that in there, and it made it in. Fantastic. Look at this. This is across from the Star Factory and across from sort of the Gigabay entrances, right? We used to have that one camera sort of looking over there, and when we were informed that there would be construction happening, we moved it out of the way, and this is the construction that they're doing there. They're putting in these big concrete sort of like turning radius pads or whatever right there across from the Star Factory and Gigabay. Fantastic. There's that truss structure, continuing to see this thing come together. Of course, down at the bottom, you see the quick disconnect down there. Is that a person for scale? I think we got a couple people for scale in there. And then we have the scaffolding staircase that goes all the way up to the top. You can go across the top, you can go down to work on it. And then these arms that are sort of coming towards the... Is it towards? I think it's... Wow. I thought it was towards, and it was towards or away there. But in any event, the arms that go around the side of the booster, looks like they're going to be doing some testing there. Duh, it's Masseys, of course. Yes, what insightful commentary. They're going to be doing some testing at Masseys. I mean, actually, that would be some breaking news because they're still putting Masseys together to support static fire test in any event. Folks, thank you so much for watching. Roll back. Check out the big deluge tests again over and over again. I have a whole thing on the history of the word deluge. Y'all are saying it wrong, but I'm trying to appease you. So there's the pronunciation if you want to say it incorrectly. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me, and we will see you nerds later.